Welcome, campers. Today's presentation, we will list the benefits of local governments as the guardians of liberty. We will discuss how we can alter our state government to reestablish our local governments as equal partners in the administration of Michigan. Self-government. Are we to govern ourselves in common fellowship or be ruled by strangers undeserving of our trust? A government of the people, for the people, and by the people is the best form of government for protecting the rights and property of the people. These rights are easiest protected at the local level by local people. Local governments, by their inherent nature, are sovereign representatives of the people. Bottom line up front, our townships and counties, being the most direct representatives of the combined wealth and political will of the people, have an inherent right to be equal partners in the administration of Michigan. Townships and counties arose from ancestral assemblies of the past. These governments have been directly connected to the people and the land, representing both their wealth and political will from the dawn of time. Why can't our townships and counties be directly represented in our state government now? The purpose of this presentation is to prove the need for direct representation of our townships and counties in our state legislature and to validate local autonomy as a hallmark of liberty. In this presentation, we'll examine the historic and cultural traditions of local governments, how serving justice is the purpose of government, how local control of the wealth and territory of the people assures peace and prosperity, how recognized permanent territories cannot be manipulated for political gain, how management of corruption locally limits the spread of corruption, how direct taxation by local people with the direct approval of the people is a lawful management of taxation, and how local governments have the authority to raise lawful militias. The land is the people. The people are the land. Collectively, townships and counties represent the wealth and political power of the nation. In ancient times, these governments exercised great authority. It has always been understood by those possessing wealth and power that control of local governments was a key to acquiring greater wealth and power. Greater echelons of government were established to expand on this principle to increase the wealth and power of those in power. It is only in the last few hundred years that political philosophers have re-examined the true purpose of government as a servant to the people. By serving the people and their land, lawful governments create a climate of peace and prosperity. Justification for altering our state constitution. We have covered this information in a previous presentation, but it bears repeating. Districts are the poison well we all must drink from to work in this corrupt system of government. Districts convert Michigan into an oligarchy of special interest groups, create an unholy alliance in the executive branch, weaponize the justice system against the people, and monopolize the system with jury tampering. Caretakers of liberty. The underlying authority of local governments had already been established when the U.S. Constitution was ratified in 1789. The assumption was that these governments would retain many of their sovereign powers as semi-autonomous representatives of the people. Unfortunately, our local governments lost their powers with the introduction of districts, empowering the state and federal governments to directly tax the people, an unlawful act which has robbed the people of their wealth, property, liberty, and lives. Instituted to serve justice. Lawful government is instituted as the unbiased servant of justice. It's the keeper of the public records. It's the arbiter of property disputes. It's guarantee of a fair trial. It's humane and reasonable punishments. It's keeping the peace, fair management of the infrastructure, and a common defender of life and property. Local justice. The purpose of local justice is to foster a climate of peace and prosperity. The primary focus at the local level is to create good citizens through education and training. For minor disturbances of the peace, individuals may choose to waive their right to a trial and accept responsibility for their actions for a lesser punishment. As for acts that cause serious injury or criminal trials shall be initiated, but the intent is to compensate the victim. The accused shall have a speedy trial that reduces the chance of interference. Juries shall be educated about their duty to judge the law, the proceedings, and the accused. Incarceration shall be the punishment of last resort. A system shall be developed that compensates victims of crimes from the labor of the convicted. Society must not allow itself to become a prisoner of an industrial prison system that creates prisoners. Local control by the people. Only residents may participate. Local wealth managed by the local people. It's a community-focused effort. Permanent borders represent continuity of sovereignty over a specific territory, the unchanging authority of the people and their land. This prevents gerrymandering of borders to achieve a specific political goal. As described earlier, townships and counties have been the recognized lawful governments from the founding of our nation. This fact renders it difficult for interlopers to attempt usurpation of their powers. Townships and county governments enjoy legitimacy due to their historic position in lawful government. The Magna Carta recognized that local authorities possess the sweeping powers to protect the rights of the people. Under this principle, local governments are empowered to withhold support for unlawful acts pressed upon them by greater powers. Local governments, by rights, are authorized to raise militias as needed to oppose encroachments and injustices. Decentralizing government. The decentralization and taming of a greater government. As equal partners in the administration of Michigan, local interests will take precedence over special interests. The power to retain the wealth of the people of the local level will naturally reduce the size and scope of the state and federal governments. The opportunity for corruption is significantly reduced by this. No longer will the state and federal governments have the power to reach past our local governments and pick our pockets. Corruption management. Management of corruption. This world, by its nature, is corrupt. However, small governments and local communities, corruption is easier to identify and control. With the wealth of the community at stake, during every township and county meeting, many more residents will attend to witness the proceedings and to question the actions of the officials. In addition, citizen grand juries may be convened to investigate the allegations of wrongdoing. With a vested interest in the control of their wealth at the local level, the people will take a greater interest in participating in their government processes. This will make it much more difficult for bad actors to act badly. Our townships and counties are deserving of a seat in the state legislature, and so we've come full circle. Local governments have a right to take part in the affairs of the state government. This is done by having a seat at the table in the House and Senate. Under the system, the township supervisor, with the approval of the trustees, shall appoint a member to the State House of Representatives. Likewise, the county executive shall appoint a member to the State Senate with the approval of the County Board of Townships. This method of selection shall ensure accountability from the people in their precincts all the way up to the State House. Members of the state legislature will be keen to protect the interests of their townships and counties before they look at special interests. No direct taxation without direct representation. In accordance with this principle that direct taxation is only lawful with direct representation at the township, the people have direct input into the management of the public treasure. Under this new system, upper tiers of government shall be required to submit millage requests for approval by the people at the precinct and township levels. All millage requests must be approved by 2/3 of the precincts and 2/3 of the townships and 2/3 of the counties to be authorized for distribution to the state. In review, in this presentation we discuss the historic, cultural, and traditions of local government's roles in society, local control, servers of justice, permanent borders, corruption management, taxation controlled locally, and territorial defense. Next time, in the next presentation, the new role of the branch of the legislature, limited executive powers, governor and bureaucracy, attorney general, secretary of state, and the treasury. And always remember, folks, remember campers, that we've only on this beautiful earth for a short while. We must learn to take care of each other. God bless you, and good night.